and we're a minute in. Sorry, guys. Sometimes a quote a day is a hard thing to keep up with. This being one of those days. Sometimes we just need a reminder of lessons we already learned when we were knee-high to a grasshopper. When's the last time you heard that one? Yeah, sometimes we just need to be reminded of these little lessons and stories and things that we were told when we were little that we already knew but kind of got away from us. And as we got older and got into adult situations, adult relationships that were highly complex, it's kind of like we're too close to the forest to see the trees. We get blinded by the complexity of adult situations and relationships that we sort of get wrapped up in the minutia, and we don't know what to do next when we want to better relate to people, to better approach situations, to better navigate our relationships with the general public, strangers, those in need. Those in need are a friend indeed. Our friends, our partners, our co-workers, and professional relationships. And we get kind of overwhelmed with the minutiae and complexity of what it is to be in an adult relationship within the context it is: church, professional, intimate, acquaintance, and the culture and faith base that you are in will further add a layer of complexity to what is the next best appropriate reaction or the general best demeanor to have when exchanging with other people to get your voice heard, your needs met, and be fair and even and make sure everybody wins. Because if everybody wins in the situation, you win in the long run with people. If you're the type of person that takes the other person into consideration, when things get complicated, tricky, heavy, if you take them into consideration in negotiating life, you become someone people want to be around, because your actions sort of speak for you, and over time people realize you are the kind of person who is kind. You are the kind of person who is dependable. You're the kind of person who is considerate. You're the kind of person who is fair. You're the kind of person who is even-tempered, etc. You're the kind of person who deals well with other people. And so they want to deal with you, as opposed to those that do not deal so well with other people, or are selfish or self-centered, and it repels people away depending on your conduct with others. And when things get really complicated, confusing, and foggy, and you're too close to the forest to see the trees, thinking through all the depths and complexities of adult relating, and you don't know in this particular situation what to do, what to say, how to approach it, how to handle it, how to play this particular scenario out, or just generally relate to other humans. Remember the golden rule. Like I said, sometimes the answer is obvious, it's right there in front of us, but we've acquired so much information and life has gotten so complex, and adult situations are so much more complicated than sharing your tinker toy or your little truck on the playground. Um, Navigating preschool. Treat others the way you would wish to be treated. Quote of the day. In whatever circumstance, situation with other people you find yourself in, the general public, be kind, be complimentary, be of good character, approach things politely with appropriate demeanor and tone of voice and body language, be friendly just because. Because if you were working a 9 to 5 and you're sick and tired of just dealing with the people, it would lighten up. You would like to be treated that way. It would lighten up your day to have a friendly, smiley customer who is kind to you and treats you like you exist. So just put yourself in the other person's shoes. Empathy. In whatever the situation, whatever the relationship, whatever the context, sort of try and loosen your grip on all that adult complexity and just put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to see it from their perspective, not what you think their perspective is, but from what their perspective might likely be. If I were them and things were how they are, how would I like to be treated? What would I need to hear? What would I need from another person? What would I hope that they would do or not do? Be or not be? Behave or not behave? How would I approach this? Is going to be how would I like it to be approached if I were them. The golden rule. Treat others the way you wish to be treated. We learned it, we knew it, we know it. But we get lost in the details of being a grown-up, and things are so complicated. Make it simpler for yourself. In the general narrative that is emotionally detached, if this were a book and these were two characters interacting, not your particular situation, just lay it all out there in your mind's eye, that these are just two characters in a book and this is the scenario. If I were not me and I were this other person, how would I like to be treated in this context? And then behave accordingly. I'm not saying to behave disingenuously. Be yourself. But treat others the way you would wish to be treated. Simplifies things really easily. Especially when things get complex and confusing. If I were a boss and I had an employee who wanted a promotion or raise, etc., how would I like them to come to me and approach this situation? How would I like them to talk to me about it? What would be the most persuasive way for them to do so? Most appropriate professional way for them to do so? How would I like them to approach it? And give me the room to say no if necessary because of X, Y, and Z. How would I like them to react to that rejection? If I had to be a manager and handle that situation, well, that's how you come in and approach your boss. It works for everything, the golden rule. But these little things we learned along the way, especially the things we learned when we were little, get said so often. They become flippant. We don't even think about them anymore. We get lost in the complexity. We get overwhelmed. We don't know what to do. Given all the facts, like a book, the totality of the situation, the relationship, the context, put yourself in their shoes. If you were them, how would you like to be treated in this situation by you? And then that is what you do. Not people pleasing either. The next appropriate reaction, decision, choice, movement in this complex chess game that is life. Don't do whatever they want. Do what is most appropriate, given all the facts, emotionally detached. If you were them, how would you wish to be treated? The golden rule is the golden rule for a reason. It's highly effective. Gets rid of all that red tape and simplifies a lot of situations. If you're feeling distant from your partner, there's a gap in conversation. Dependent upon who they are and what they're about, what you know of them, what you know of your relationship. You've hit this plateau. How would you like them to approach you? To spark back up dialogue, time together, etc. Try approaching them that way. It works across the board. Treat other people the way you wish to be treated. And I am done now repeating myself, because I know you wish to not be treated to a 30-minute video about something you learned when you were 3. But it is a great way to be. Good morning, goodbye, love you guys. I actually have enough room to have an ending. Cheers. Hugs. Happy dance. Hearts. And that's all I got. Good morning, goodbye, have a good day. And if you're in confusing adult relationships and you don't know what to do next, lay it out in your head, all the facts and all the dynamics, the paradigms and context of the relationship, and then put yourself in their shoes. Practice empathy, and then you make your move. Good morning. Goodbye. I'm really done now. Do the hokey pokey and we turn ourselves around. And that's what it's all about.